Welcome to the Zeitgeist Lab Collections episode, I want to say 11?
Ooh, I think so. Collection 4, it's worth noting.
Season 4.
Right.
Still in the middle season.
Yes.
It's argument season.
It's argument season.
Specifically. This is the argument portion of season 4.
So you would say that
the story arc of season 4. Portion of season 4.
You wouldn't classify the whole season as argument season. It's an arc.
It's most certainly an arc. Yeah.
Well, it is, but no, sorry, I agree that it's an arc, but you don't think it started at the top of the season? You think it showed up later in the season?
I feel like it showed up maybe like halfway through. Yeah.
So I think I agree with that, and to maybe do a little bit of a throwback to an old season. It kind of like how Community would have their season arcs, and then I guess we'll see where this arc takes us as we start to wind down, right? Because we've got 4 more episodes left, including this one. So hopefully we can wrap this arc up and everyone gets their happy ending.
What does the end of argument season look like to you?
I bust out my acoustic guitar and we sing Kumbaya around a digital campfire at the end of the last episode. Maybe
this is also a late night edition. We're recording an hour later than we normally do.
Mm-hmm. Troy and Nabed in the morning nights.
Yeah, today we are here to talk about the album Iowa, the 2001 album by the band Slipknot. But we'll get to that. You were just at a family function. How was that?
Oh, it's good. It's my in-laws, so I'm blessed enough to have really good in-laws that I get along with, and so it's never it's always enjoyable for me.
Yeah, there's definitely one side of my family that I don't like seeing either side of my family anymore. Yeah, like my mom's side is really conservative and like really quiet about it. They're like quietly conservative rather.
Uh-huh.
And then my dad's side, for the most part, except for one of his sisters, is for the most part just very loudly liberal.
Okay.
And I don't think that has anything to do with me liking them or disliking them really. But it's just like, I don't know, I just don't feel like I fit in with either side of my parents' families. But my dad has one sister who's basically a brainwashed like Trump person, conservative.
Nice.
But I mean, she's very nice and everything, but we just don't talk about politics. That's for sure.
Just keep politics out of it. I paid Miles $10 if he promised not to bring up any presidents as recent as Richard Nixon or later, because he's very into presidents, and I was afraid he was going to bring up Trump or Biden, and it was just going to turn into this whole thing.
$10 is a lot of money for a 6-year-old. He probably feels like a millionaire.
Exactly, yeah. So I knew that
when I was that young.
Yeah, I knew it had to be a high number to keep his mouth quiet about Donald Trump. So it worked, though.
Nice. Yeah, I don't know. Just family sleep, which is really weird. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I got a new microphone today.
Nice.
Went to Stoughton with Juggalo Max. We went to a smoke shop there called Smoke on the Water. Shout out to Smoke on the Water. I bought me a brand new microphone. It's different. It's like a different brand, different kind that I'm used to because they didn't have my brand there anymore.
Now, see, I didn't know that you went anywhere to buy these things. I thought they were all mail order.
Yeah, I usually get them online, but
okay.
Sometimes I'll be hanging out with Juggalo Max and he'll be like, "Oh, let's go to the smoke shop over there."
Gotcha.
Today I requested to go over there because I wouldn't be getting my other vape for another couple of days, and I just really wanted one. So
gotcha.
Yeah, it's as you can see, it's just a plain rectangle, and I keep hitting it from the wrong side because there's no little curve, to put your lips around.
Gotcha.
So I keep hitting it from the wrong side.
Okay.
So and I just feel really stupid doing that, but I'll probably do it several times during this podcast. But yeah, that's all I got going on for pre-Grundle banter today.
Nothing else to report on?
No. Actually, no, I do. I was high and I was going grocery shopping as I do once or twice a week, and I had that same sensation where I thought I was going to piss myself when I got into the Uber.
Uh-huh.
and I was like, I was like just on the verge of like I thought it was just all going to come out, and like I was like so worried, and before I could say anything, we had already pulled out into traffic at that point.
Uh-huh.
So then I just took a deep breath, and once we got on like the main road, it just totally went away.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, so I don't know what's the deal with that, but it's like, yeah, it's weird. It's scary, but
I mean, so what specifically? What would scare you about that? Because pee is like it's a silent thing.
well, I don't want to piss in someone's car. It's like, I mean,
But they wouldn't know it's you. Like, I get what you're saying. Like, you wouldn't want to do it, but I
they
don't.
would smell it for sure.
You think so? Because the
I
grocery
think
store you're
so.
saying is just like a 2 or 3 minute drive, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I
Maybe.
mean,
I don't
maybe I
know.
could get away with it, but I don't want to.
Sure. No, yeah. I'm not saying like, oh, well, you should just do it. But like, I just don't think it's maybe as scary as you think it is. But I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, it's scary in the sense where it's like I just don't want to have to deal with like the feeling of just having pissed in someone's car with like who's probably just a generally nice person.
Mm.
If they were talking the whole time, yeah, I wouldn't care as much.
That makes no sense to me.
I hate talkative Uber
But that
drivers for the
doesn't
most part.
that doesn't mean it's not really a judgment one way or the other on whether they're a nice person or not.
Yeah, that's true, but like it's like I don't know, like it's always just like middle-aged like white guys. I always want to like just like strike up a conversation.
I get that. Like, and I'm with you. I don't want to talk. I'm not a big talker. I don't like making small talk. But if someone was talking to me and I didn't want to, I wouldn't be like, well, now I'm okay if I piss in their car. Like, I'm not seeing how you make that jump.
I'm a militant Uber guy. Maybe I'm just militant about Uber behaviors, but
Right.
um, which I am. Like I find myself getting like just pissed off at like the smallest things that drivers do. Like if they like yell my name from the car, like from across the street or something, that just drives me insane. Just like don't fucking shout at me. Like I can see who you are on my phone. Like I know you're here. Like I know I have to identify you like before you get in the car. But I don't know if something just bothers me about that. I have no idea why, and it shouldn't. It absolutely shouldn't. Like
No.
the smallest things. Like
I'm learning some perplexing things about you this season. Like I find that very odd. I find it odd that the fact they're willing to make small talk that makes you okay with pissing in their car. You get very unhinged if someone bumps into you with a shopping cart or with their car at a gas station.
Like, I was very firm.
I yelled at a little old lady. Pay attention! God damn it!
I didn't say goddamn.
I know I'm exaggerating, but that's what I do. Makes the story better. So actually, I got a question that I've thought about before, which is: do you not own a pair of headphones?
I don't.
Okay, because that's what I suspected. Because in the past, I've been like, "Hey, do you have headphones that might make like so that we don't hear the echo?" And you're like, "I don't think so." Which is
I should get some though. Yeah,
I don't really care one way or the other. But what blows my mind is this means that whenever you listen to any music, you're just like listening to it through the speaker on your phone.
Yeah, for the most part. Yeah.
That sounds like shit.
No, I think I'm just really used to it. I don't know.
Because there's been another time where I think it was maybe it was when we were trying to get to the Norm Macdonald book, and you were like, "Yeah, I can't listen because I've been in an Uber all day, going all over town for whatever. It doesn't really matter." And I remember thinking like, well, what does that matter? Can't you just put headphones in? But I think I've just realized that you just don't have that. You don't have that.
Oh no, I have AirPods. I just don't know where they are.
Oh, okay.
And those like don't sound the greatest anymore because I've had them for like a couple of years now.
Yeah, I cannot imagine doing all of my musical listening just through the speaker of my phone.
No, I actually do have headphones. I bought a pair of headphones when I got my new phone. I don't know, but like, no, I've had this phone for a while, but like, I got like these like headphones for my phone, and then only to find out after I got the headphones in the mail that my phone doesn't have a headphone jack.
You fucking iPad or iPhone users.
I'm not an iPhone. No, it's not an iPhone. It's not an
iPhone.
It's an Android. There's no headphone jack. It's not even like that new either. It's like at least a couple years old.
Okay, so you need Bluetooth headphones then.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Well, that's wild to me.
Yeah.
It makes me question any judgment you've passed on any album that we've listened to that you had not heard before because you're like listening to it through your phone speaker. Like, I think if I listen to all music through my phone speaker, I'd be like, yeah, this fucking sucks. Like, I could be like listening to, I don't know, Jack's Mannequin for the first time, and if it's through my phone, I'm like, what the fuck is this garbage? I can't. It sounds like shit.
Well, I go into like the audio settings. I mess with the equalizer.
Sure, no, and I'm sure that helps, but it's just
yeah.
I don't even know where the fucking speaker is on this thing. I think it's at the bottom. Yeah, there's a couple little speakers on the bottom.
Yeah, maybe, I don't know. Maybe I'll ask for like Bluetooth, or maybe I'll buy some or something, save up for them or something. But yeah, that's probably good. That's probably a good investment.
Investment in your future.
Yeah, I forgot what I was going to say. Yeah, I don't remember now. But yeah, should we head down to the Grundle then?
Let's fucking do it.
All right. All right, Grundle. We need a Grundle theme song. I know I keep suggesting theme songs, and I know you can have when I do that.
I don't get mad. It's just, if you want a Grundle theme song, write and record a fucking theme song for me. Like,
yeah. I felt like you got mad last time. I was like, we need a live Googling theme.
I am mad about that, and I know we're going to talk about it in a few minutes. But
I know, yeah. First question is from Jordan Lane, consulting producer extraordinaire. We got a hat trick from Jordan this week. We got 3 whole questions from him. Jordan wants to know, it's getting hot. How do you two feel about shorts? Well, as a fat guy, I prefer shorts. I wish I could wear shorts all year round, but I live in Wisconsin. But yeah, I'm wearing shorts now. I was wearing shorts all day. I love me a nice pair of basketball shorts with a nice hardcore band logo on the leg. Yeah, it's I fuck pants. I can't do them anymore. I can't do like jeans like specifically.
Yeah.
I just I don't know. It's tracksuits from here on out, unless I lose some weight here, which I'm hoping to. So
yeah, I'm pro shorts. I think I heard you do a little bit of describing about the shorts. I don't really care. Like, I just need them to have pockets.
Yeah, that's definitely
all I care. I prefer like cargo shorts and cargo pants, but I think I'm like soft banned from those by my wife because she thinks they're ridiculous. But I think cargo pants are incredible.
Nah, I have to agree with her on that. Unless they're like camo cargo shorts, those are sick.
No, they're khakis, camo khaki pants. That's where it's at.
Oh, yeah.
Or sorry, cargo khaki pants rather.
Okay. All right. So Jordan hit us with a second question here. Okay, so a couple episodes ago, Brian did some live Googling, but there was no Brian's live Googling theme. Will it be making a return? Was there a theme? Did you ever throw a theme in there? I feel like you might have.
So there was a theme. I believe it was either season 2 or maybe season 3. I was trying to figure that out. I think it was season 3 because I think it might have specifically been in the main spot of the Trailer Park Boys episode, which is why Jordan caught it. Because I know he's a regular listener now, and I don't want to call him out or anything, but I don't think he was too much of a regular listener until the Canada season. And I think specifically his episode, you had said like, oh yeah, we need a theme song. And like I threw something in there. And I thought it was a funny one-off bit. But like, I'm just like, and I'd be interested to hear from Jordan on when there was live Googling recently, because I've been trying really hard to just keep these. I'm trying to keep these episodes lean. I'm trying to like cut them down, like speed them up a little bit, because I feel like when you and I talk and I listen at a normal speed, I'm like, this just feels too slow. So like, for instance, the Deftones episode was like 2 hours, and I left in everything that I thought was really good, but like, if I'm leaving, like, I'm just trying to cut out anything that I can that's like silence, and live Googling is very much a lot of silence. So
I understand that, yeah.
I guess I failed if Jordan says there was one in there recently, because I've tried really hard to cut that out of there, but I guess I'm failing. But yeah, if we had that, and there was no theme music, I apologize. But I assure you, it's not that I forgot the theme music; it's that I forgot to edit.
So will it be making returns? I'm hearing no on that one.
No,
Okay.
And I'm surprised even that it was in season 3, but I'm pretty sure it was because I feel like season 2 was more of the experimental season. Like, so we had like the sports talk sound effect and the fake clip show, and like that was like real experimental hours because we had pretty much no guests that season. I don't have time to like experiment with that sort of shit.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like what's our first season was our debut album, and then like which was a hit obviously, and then it's a classic. But then our second season,
it's the sophomore slump.
No, I don't think it's a sophomore slump. I just feel like it's we do what most bands do on their third album, and that's experiment a lot. I feel like.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of like what album would apply to this situation here.
And what's the third season then?
I don't know. Aside from this one, I feel like I don't want to say our best, but it's definitely my favorite.
I feel like our third season is like it's like when a band finally kind of hits it and they can afford like a nicer producer and like it just gets kind of really polished and you're like, well, exactly. I mean, this is good, but it's maybe lost a little bit of its charm because you're trying too hard maybe at that point.
A little too polished, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And then this season is like, I don't know, whatever the album the Beatles made when everything was falling apart, I guess, or something.
I don't know about that. So Jordan, last but not least, Jordan wants to know. I'd also like to hear Alex's thoughts on John Daly. And I looked this person up, and it turned out to be a golfer. So I'm just gonna take this opportunity to get higher.
So I was very fascinated by this question. So I had to Google John Daly to figure out if he's in the news this week or something. So it turns out this week they're playing the PGA Championship. It is one of the 4 majors that is played in golf every year, and I guess John Daly was there. He was the winner of this tournament in 1991, so I think that means he gets like a lifetime invitation to play. And I guess he's just out there having a good old time. He's like, if you think of like the NBA, right, and all of the historically there's like these like the Showtime Lakers, or, like all these kind of prima donna superstars. And you had like Dennis Rodman, who was like, he just kind of doubled down. Right, exactly. He just kind of doubled down on that. John Daly is like the Dennis Rodman of golf, as much as golf could have a Dennis Rodman. He's just like, so like I was reading, he's out there on the first round this week and he's like smoking cigarettes and riding a cart. I didn't even know they were allowed to ride carts in the professional golf. So he's just out there having a good time. And then normally, after the day, the golfers might get dinner together or something. He posted on his Instagram, he was down at Hooters dropping in and getting some wings and just enjoying being out on tour, I guess. So, I'm looking here and it says he's been suspended 5 times over the years and been on probation 6 other times. Pretty sure he's got some sort of drinking problem. Yeah, he's dealt with substance abuse and marital issues for most of his career. $100,000 worth of fines. So he's just going to golf his way. I think it's almost like it's probably the closest thing that golf's ever had to actually having like Happy Gilmore.
Yeah, I thought that.
So
what you were gonna say, yeah.
I just, and what I would say, my response to that would be Shooter McGavin's response. Like, this is golf, people. Like, this is not how we fucking do golf. So let's clean up our act. Let's get out there. Let's hit the links. And let's respect the game of golf, for Christ's sake.
No, thank you. He sounds like the what's that guy? The bowling guy's name?
I know who you're talking about. I don't know his name though.
Pete Weber.
I'll take your word for it. The guy
who's like, "Who do you think you are? I am."
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. I just don't know his name. Didn't you? Were you the one who said you saw it? He came to your high school once?
No, when I was in high school, I saw him at a bowling alley in Madison at a tournament because I was really into bowling in like middle school and like early high school.
Okay.
And he was having a rough fucking day. He was like in a very bad way. Just very visibly upset. Just a total freak. But I'm obsessed with that guy. He's also had a lot of substance abuse issues and was
Yeah.
known for being the bad boy of bowling, I
Right. Yeah.
guess.
Exactly.
But yeah, let's mosey my way back here to the Twitter app. Have you? Gabe Sluice wants to
The
know.
sluice is loose.
Oh, you said it this time. You took last week off.
I did.
Yeah, you just want to keep me on my toes. I understand. But yeah, Gabe Sluice wants to know: have you ever had a stranger come to your house and ask for a glass of water?
No, this is ridiculous. Like he says he wants to do have you ever questions this season, but he asked the most ridiculous have you ever type things. Like
I've kind of been noticing a pattern there. Yeah. But so my answer is also no. But when I lived on the South Side, if you're from here, don't come here. Um, I like someone randomly knocked on the door. I opened it, and it was like this lady who like, looked kind of lost or whatever, and she was like, "Do you have any cookies? Do you have any food?" And like blah blah blah. And I was like, "Not for you. I'm sorry." And then like it turned out she had some sort of cognitive disability that led to like, behavioral issues. I feel like hopefully that's the most respectable way to say that.
you just
Yeah.
like you were able to draw that conclusion because it was so obvious, or you actually located someone who's able to like confirm the story?
I feel like if I'm remembering correctly, I feel like a caretaker was not too far behind
Okay.
and like was able to clear things up. But
Gotcha.
I wasn't really involved after that like exchange as much because like my roommate at the time. Have I talked about this guy? He was like I lived in a house with like four other people, including Juggalo Max, and the guy who's like 65 years old.
The guy that with the tree?
Yes, okay, I talked about him. Okay, good. Because I
Yeah.
don't want to tell that story again because that's a really long one. Yeah, the biggest piece of shit I've ever lived with. Fucking hate that guy. Fuck Steve. If you're listening, Steve, fuck you. Yeah, he kind of came out of his room, which is close to the front door, and I was like, "Hey, get out of here! Don't worry about this." And he just like kind of diffused the situation himself. But yeah, to answer Gabe's question, no, but that happened. So yeah. So I mean, these are really specific questions, but sometimes I actually have like half of an answer. So I'm
Hmm.
okay. Kind of random because I can still pull things out of my ass to talk about. But yeah. Last but not least, oh, like did I ever? Like, I don't know if I told this story about that guy that I lived with, but like, he would like he fucked up his like arm or something when he was doing a tree job when he was like climbing a tree or something for work, and he couldn't like work for a while, and so he was like, and he couldn't do Uber, but then he like offered to like drive me to work and back. And he like eventually guilt tripped me to do it because like I told him I'd think about it, and like 2 days go by and he's like got really confrontational and like really like antagonizing and like about it, and I was like, dude, I told you I'd fucking think about it, and like I don't know. And so
Nice.
he talked me into it. So I gave him like $20 one day to take me to and from work, and he was fucking drunk when he picked me up.
He was drunk.
Yeah, he was like fucking wasted when he picked me up, like, and he like I worked in like a duplex with for like when I was a caregiver for this young man on the autism spectrum. He was like nonverbal. Like he lived on one side, and then a different nonprofit or company like that owned the other half and had like another client there on the other
Okay.
half.
Okay.
So like I was seeing caregivers from the other company like going to and going from the house all the time, and
Mm-hmm.
we'd get off work at the same time sometimes. And like she was like talk like she was like it was a new lady I'd never seen before, and we were introducing ourselves. And like the dude that picked me up that I lived with, he was like, "Who's that bitch talking to you? She seemed like a bitch." And I was like, "No, she's totally nice as a coworker." And then like we both got into our cars, me and like this lady up next door working, and our cars were like next to each other. And he rolls on the window, starts fucking screaming at her for no reason. I was like, I'm gonna fucking die because of this dude, probably. Like, yeah, but he was the fucking worst. I fucking hate that guy.
Nice.
Yeah, worst land or not landlord roommate ever had.
Hmm.
But, yeah. Anyway, last question here. from toes.exe. Haven't heard from Toes in a while, I feel like. I'm glad she's got a question for us here. She wants to know any recent movies that everyone seems to love that you just don't get the hype for that you also watched, of course. So I would defer to you first. I have an answer, but what do you have to say?
I mean, I have not seen a lot of new movies recently. I did see the
You probably
new.
always been a kid movie, right?
Yeah, yeah. The last two movies I saw in theaters were Sonic the Hedgehog 2. But last night we went out on a date night and we saw Downton Abbey, the new era. And I thought that was phenomenal, actually. So I don't know that I have
They
an
made a
answer.
Abbey movie.
What?
They made a Downtown Abbey movie.
Well, it's Downton, not downtown. And yeah, this is actually the second movie.
Oh wow! It shows how much I know about this franchise.
And
Can't even get the name right.
by far, Daisy and I were the youngest people in the audience. But it's a show we got into on Netflix, probably like 2013, 2014, and it's kind of like a soap opera. So I'm into it, as you can imagine, and so we followed it all the way through. We saw the first movie when it came out in theaters, like the week it came out back in 2019. This one was released here in the States this week, and we were there opening weekend. So I thought it was great. So I don't know. I don't have a real answer for a movie that I
I was gonna
didn't
say,
like.
yeah, she wants to know about movies you don't like.
Yeah, I'm pretty
Do you like?
easy to please with movies, but it's because I'm very picky about actually deciding to watch one. Like I'm not just gonna put on any fucking movie. So usually, if I watch a movie, I've done the research. To be like, yeah, I'm probably gonna like this.
Yeah, same here. I have to like I have to almost guarantee myself I'm gonna like it if I'm gonna go see it in the theaters. Like I don't take a chance on those anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But it was different when I was in a relationship because then we just go see whatever the fuck because we didn't know what else to do with our time.
Sure.
So I saw so many goddamn awful movies with my ex girlfriend from like
Oh, really?
2000, 2016. No, 2016, 2017. Yeah, a lot of terrible horror movies that she really liked.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, no, I've seen like four movies in like the last like 2 or 3 years in theaters. I feel like I saw last one I saw was Batman, which is good from what I remember, what I was awake for. Because like
That's the most recent one, like the Batman or whatever.
yeah,
Okay.
it was really good for like what I was awake for. I gotta rewatch it because like I was probably snoozing for a lot of that because it's fucking 3 hours long and like you just like eat so much candy and like during the previews and you're in a comfortable seat and it's dark and and me with my like undiagnosed narcolepsy apparently.
Right.
um yeah, before that I saw like the last one was Uncut Gems, which I really liked. And then I think I saw Knives Out before that. That was really good.
That was a good one. I like that one.
Yeah, that was really fun. But I did see no. Then I remembered at some point in between those, I saw the last Tarantino movie, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I think it's called.
Yeah.
That was a piece of dog shit.
Yeah, I would
You see-
imagine. No, of course
But,
not.
and I normally like Quentin Tarantino's movies. I've seen like the last like 5 or 6.
I think
Ever
I've
since I was
only
in
I've
high
only
school.
ever seen one of his movies. I think.
Which one? It's probably something weird like Jackie Brown.
No, it was Death Proof. It was that when they did that
That's a weird
double
one too. That's a weird
when
one
they
to
did
have seen.
that double feature one or whatever.
I never saw that one. Yeah,
And the first one, I can't remember what it was called now, was better.
Planet Terror.
Yes, I like that one, but the Death Proof one was just stupid.
Yeah, Planet Terror was Robert Rodriguez, I think.
I believe so. That sounds familiar.
Yeah, I didn't see either one of those. I wanted to go when they in the theaters, but I couldn't go with anyone. But yeah, no, I normally like his movies. I like Inglourious Basterds. I think is really good. Obviously, Pulp Fiction and Reservoir Dogs are really good. Um, I liked The Hateful Eight and the one before that, Django. I thought was really good.
Oh, I
mean,
did
they
see
probably don't
Django
like that.
Unchained. I saw Django Unchained. I thought it was okay.
Yeah, and I generally like his movies a lot. The ones I've seen anyway. But this was like I don't know. I mean, I know he's a total film nerd, yeah, but this was just too navel gazing. It was like, we get it. You like old movies. You like old school Hollywood. And that's what all this is. And there's nothing. It was just so uninteresting to me. And like I don't know. It's like you got like two really solid actors in Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio, who are normally good in like everything they like when they have a good director behind them. But like, I just thought it was super underwhelming. A lot of people disagreed with me though.
Yeah.
And Lena Dunham's in that movie. Fuck her. So yeah, I don't know. And it's probably problematic if somehow, and there's probably articles that I just haven't read about it being problematic, so it's probably bad for those reasons too that are just going over my head because it's a Tarantino movie.
Right.
Yeah, that. So yeah. So you can't think of one that you don't like. Is there like a shitty kids movie that you've seen that you just didn't like? That you just had to sit through?
The Secret Life of Pets 2 was pretty bad.
No, I saw the first one with my ex-girlfriend at the time. That was I the first one.
Yeah, I thought the first one was good. We watched that a ton because Miles was obsessed with us. We watched it like every day. And so then the second one came out and we took him to see it in theaters, and I just thought it was really bad.
Yeah, I don't know. But I'm probably going to watch The Departed after this. That was my plan, so.
Okay.
We're shipping up to Boston.
Yeah, I think I saw that a lot. That's maybe like 10 or 15 years old at this point now, right?
Yeah, that came out in 2006.
Okay, yeah, I think I've seen it. I don't remember if I liked it or not.
It's I don't know how anyone can forget seeing that movie. It's like seriously my second favorite movie of all time.
Okay.
It's so fucking good. Right after Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Oh, really?
That's my favorite movie of all time, yeah.
It's a good movie. I don't know why it would be your favorite movie of all time, but to each their own.
It just makes me smile so much, like the whole thing. I just love every second of it. I don't know why. It's just, I just don't have a better answer. I just love that movie so much. I know there are better movies out there, like definitely more, better performances are generally well made. But like I don't know, just something about that movie. I just can't like help but love. I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, just Ferris Bueller's just such an amazing character.
Yeah, he's good. Like I said, there's nothing wrong with the movie. It's too long for one thing, I think. It could be probably like 15 minutes shorter.
What do you think is the best movie then?
I'm a big fan of Shawshank Redemption.
I've never seen that.
It's a good one. I was a big fan of the 7-hour O.J. Simpson movie.
Yeah. I changed my answer to some kind of Monster the Metallica documentary if we were for counting documentaries then.
Let's see. I'm trying to think. Happy Gilmore is a classic.
That's a good one, yeah. Yeah.
I watched that one every day for 53 days straight at one point during my youth.
Really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I really like speaking of Sandler movies, I really like Big Daddy growing up. I saw that in the theaters and I was like maybe a little too young to see it. But I loved it. Yeah, I was obsessed with that one when I was a kid for some reason.
That was like the beginning of the end for Sandler for me. Like to go from because you have like Happy Gilmore and Billy Madison and The Wedding Singer and just like all these. I mean, obviously classic ones. And then he did like Big Daddy,
and that was more serious, yeah.
And then it wasn't as funny, and I was like, oh, it was okay. And then they did Mr. Deeds, and I was like, what the fuck is going on? And then you get to like The Longest Yard, and they're like, what the hell, like. But Waterboy is the other classic one before he kind of I think Waterboy was before Big Daddy. Waterboy's really good. I really like that one.
He's making a comeback though with Uncut Gems and Huey Halloween. Those are two back-to-back bangers in my opinion.
I have no plan to see either of those ever.
Really? I don't know what kind of movies you like, but
he's had some, like I really liked him in Punch Drunk Love. I thought Punch Drunk Love was really good.
I never saw that one. I don't like that guy, Paul Thomas Anderson. I don't like his movies.
I don't know who that is.
Yes, he wrote and directed that movie. It
was a good movie.
He did Boogie Nights, which I hate.
Never saw it. Yeah, so I mean, Sandler's hit or miss, but like in the '90s, to me, like Big Daddy was like the representation of like the last time he did something really good. But even that was Click was good, wasn't it? Yeah, but it's still not on the same level as like Happy Gilmore, or Billy Madison, or Wedding Singer.
Click is the same way as Big Daddy, where it's like it's his humor, but it's also really somber and like a little more.
I think it's better than Big Daddy, but yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I go back and forth on that one. Maybe. I'd say Big Daddy's better, but yeah, no. Big Daddy just has so many really good moments. So where he's like, where the kid like spits and he's like the spit touches the ground, he sucks it back up. It's so fucking funny.
I don't know, man.
And he's like tripping the roller skaters in the park with sticks. Oh, it's so fucking funny. I don't know. Maybe I'll watch that later. I don't know. But yeah, um, that was the Grundle question. We were here to talk about it, in case you forgot, because I feel like we've been going for a while already. But we are talking about Iowa by Slipknot. So, Alex, what did you think of Iowa by Slipknot?
I mean, it was as bad as I thought it was going to be. I will say that it was better than I was convinced this was going to be the worst thing we talked about all season, but I did
Really?
like it more than Seven Dust.
Okay.
But that's probably the only thing that we've listened to so far that I thought was worse than this.
Wow. Strong words out the gate. Okay. What didn't you like about it?
It's all just samey.
Yeah. There are some moments that I feel like stick out as being different, but for the most part, I see what you're saying a little bit.
And I had forgotten to listen to it until today, so I put it on the way home from the grocery store. I had Miles with me, and I was like, "Hey, we're gonna listen to this album."
What did Miles think?
So I was like, "Tell me what you think." He's like, "Okay, I'll tell you if I like it or not." So we get to the end of the first song. He's like, "I did not like that," and I was like, "Oh yeah, why not?" He's like, "There's too much swearing," and I was like, "You could tell what they were saying." He's like, "Yeah." I was like, "What were they saying?" He's like, "They said motherfuckers." And I was like, "They did say motherfuckers, didn't they?" And then the next song comes on. He's like, "Why are we listening to the same song?" I was like, "This is actually a different song." And he's like, "Why would anyone write this?" And I was like, "I don't know." And I told him he doesn't really know about the podcast or even what it is, but I told him like, "Yeah, we're listening to this because I'm talking about this on the podcast." And so we listened all the way home. It's like a 15-minute drive, so we got through like 4 or 5 songs. And he's like, "Well, I hate your podcast." I was like, "This isn't my podcast. This is something I'm listening to for the podcast." And then later he was like, "Yeah, I hate that podcast." I was like, "It's not a podcast."
So what you're trying to say is no Grundle questions for Miles anytime soon.
Right, exactly. But it was better than I thought. Like, so I think I told you off mic that when you had chosen the new metal season and you had given me the list, maybe I had an early list or maybe I just misread it, but I remember seeing Slipknot on there. I was like, I know this will probably be the thing I hate the most. So I'm going to go listen to it now just to like prepare myself for all of the like bad music I'm going to have to endure. And so I got through like a few songs on their self-titled album, and that was absolute garbage and hideous. Like, I'm so glad that's not what we're talking about, because this was far better than what I remember hearing on the self-titled album. And there were some redeemable things on here. This was better than I thought it was going to be. I know that's in contradiction to what I said like 2 minutes ago. It is better than I thought it was going to be. And there were some good things. And when they try more melodic things, like they do, I think, on My Plague and Left Behind, those I like. Or when they try some different kind of percussion things, I found some enjoyable moments in I Am Hated and Skin Ticket. And
yeah, Skin Ticket like really stuck out to me.
Yeah, I thought that was a really good one, actually. Well, as good as something like this can be. I'm not ever going to like go listen to it again. And I was really excited to listen to Iowa, because it's this 15-minute song, and they seem to have the sort of fan base that focuses on this, because multiple places where I was reading about them on Wikipedia, they're like, and this album features their longest song that clocks in at over. I'm like, okay, who cares? But I was like, maybe it's because it's really good. And I was listening to it I was listening to like most of the rest of the album on my bike ride. And so that song came on towards the end, and I was really into like the first few minutes. And then I listened to like the last 10 minutes of it as I was setting up for our recording session. And it's not that it was bad by any means, but it just didn't go anywhere with the amount of time. Like it could have either made it a lot shorter and had a pretty decent song for what this album is, or done some more experimentation or something with it. But it just kind of, meandering is a good word for it.
Mm-hmm. But props to them for having a really long last track and not being like a hidden track. Like I like going into this, I forgot about the last song, and I was like, oh, is this like another hidden track where it's like just 10 minutes of silence and then 5 minutes of song? But no, so like props to them for actually doing a long song, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. I felt it kind of fades away. You kind of forget about it, and so it's not a really good ending to the album, really. But no, I really like this album a lot. I love Slipknot. But I kind of get what you're saying when you said like you saw an early list where it was like you thought it was the self-titled one? Because I feel like I went back and forth on whether or not to do the self-titled or this one, and I think I overall like the self-titled one more. It's a little more raw and like this. I just like it's got strong like first album. We're still figuring it out kind of energy to it that I just really appreciate.
Uh-huh.
It's like really, yeah, I like those like kind of scrappy early albums and like bands sometimes. Um, but they definitely progress a lot on this one from the first album to the second one. And I feel like this, what I like about Slipknot is like they just take everything about new metal and add more to it.
Uh-huh.
But they take new metal and just like kind of crank it up to 10 and just kind of not exaggerate it, but like they just, I don't know, they just kind of elevate it in a way. Like they just
Okay.
take the core style and like just sort of elevate it with new sounds and like new influences and stuff. And like I don't know, I think the concept of Slipknot as a band is really cool. I like the multiple percussionists, and I like that there's a DJ and a sampler. Those are two different people, and I love that. I don't know what the fuck the sampler does, and I've never heard him in my entire life, and I've seen
Okay.
Slipknot live.
Uh-huh.
I love the fact that I have no idea what the fuck that guy does. I wonder if he gets paid like the same amount as Corey Taylor, the singer. I doubt it, because Corey's been accused by former members of having shady business practices later in
Okay.
their career,
Okay.
which led to one of the percussionists leaving the band.
Gotcha.
Um, yeah, where was I going with that? Yeah, they kind of brought like together a lot of like death metal influences, especially in their guitar riffs and like the blast beats on the drums. R.I.P. Joey Jordison, the original drummer. Um, yeah, I don't know, like, and then what like when I say like they elevate the new metal sound, I mean like they just take all the angst of new metal, like of a Korn or a Limp Bizkit, and they just like really, really take it to like the next level, where it's just like the lyrics are just so profoundly like juvenile, but like in a way that's like there are kids across the Midwest that were totally writing these lyrics in their notebooks, and like like if you're 5'5", I'm 6'6", like shit like that, or I want to slit your throat and fuck the wound, like lines like that are just like, and the entire My Plague song, or the entire hey, yeah, I don't know, like it's just that sort of total no one gets me, no one understands me kind of attitude. Like I don't know, there's something about it that I really enjoy. Not that I can relate to it as a 32-year-old bearded man, but I don't know, it just reminds me of a simpler time. So in a way, I'm nostalgic for this album. So it might, even though this wasn't my first Slipknot album, the follow up to that one was. This came out during a time in my life where like I was terrified of like Slipknot and like Marilyn Manson and Mudvayne because they looked scary.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, oh, they probably make the most hardcore shit ever. Like this is horrifying. I don't want to, like, I can't get anywhere near this. It's probably all screaming, and I'm not going to get it.
Right.
It's too scary for me. But like, so I thought I like, so their gimmick and their image like really worked on like me, like,
Yeah.
and presumably a million other people. But yeah, I don't know. I love this album. I don't know. I love this band. But yeah. What else was I gonna say? I should have took notes. Yeah, I didn't get into them until like I was like in 8th or 9th grade, and when the volume 3, the Subliminal Verses came out. And that's a more, I feel like you might like that one even more, because that's overall it's a lot more, there's like more slick production, and the arrangements are better, and there's like a lot of cool percussive elements, and there's some ballads and stuff. They definitely branched out, and people say they fell off after Iowa because of that album. Kind of, this is their sort of like sellout album, I guess.
I was very shocked to learn how popular Slipknot was. I had heard of them in middle school. There was one kid that I knew who was like super obsessed with them. He's always trying to get me into him. I was like, no, man, it's not for me. But as I was researching this album, it was a top 10 album in 9 different countries, including debuting at number 3 on Billboard in the US, which I thought was insane. I didn't realize that they had ever had that level of popularity.
Yeah, no, they were huge, especially with the new metal boom. They were huge, huge, gigantic. Them and like Mudvayne, I think, kind of like alongside each other, kind of broke out at the same time, if I'm remembering correctly.
But I do think it's interesting too. I guess there's a difference between like popularity and essentialism, but I know you've pulled the songs from a few different places that talk about like the essential new metal. I'm looking at Wikipedia right now. Its Metacritic score only got a 68 out of 100. Some publications gave it like a C minus or 6 out of 10 or 7 out of 10. There are a few places that they got 4 or 5 stars. So it seemed like it had mixed critical response across the board. I mean, from middling to above average, there's nothing I'm finding that says like, oh, this like people or critics absolutely hated it. But I thought that was interesting to have such a definitive album and where it to new metal, if I'm to believe you, which I will, to have kind of more of an average critic score. I'd be interested to see what some of the other albums we've talked about, how they performed in such metrics.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of mainstream critics just hated new metal, and I feel like a lot of even metal critics despise new metal. So I don't think there's a very critically acclaimed genre, with the exceptions of like System of a Down's Toxicity, which we'll be talking about later, maybe.
Yeah, I do think it's. I want to get your input here though, because this is probably the band I've researched the most for this season, aside from bands I'd already known and loved like Linkin Park and Incubus. So you had actually mentioned the lyric about like "fuck the wound" or whatever, and like there's a lot of aggressive and perhaps you could argue violent lyrics. So I was reading the controversies surrounding the band.
I was reading this too. Yeah,
our favorite section on Wikipedia, and in 2008, Corey Taylor had made a comment about a slashing incident in South Africa to which Slipknot was linked. And first of all, I just want to say that obviously a band shouldn't have to answer for that sort of thing. So I don't want anyone to think I'm saying it's Slipknot's fault. But what he did say that I thought was interesting, he says, "I know our message is actually very positive, and I want to know if you agree with that. And if so, could you point me to where their message is positive?"
I feel like there's a strong sense of like unity amongst Slipknot and Slipknot fans, in the sense that they're a band for outsiders, or they attract a lot of outsider types, or like
you can have unity among people who want to do horrible things.
Yeah, but no, I mean, and I feel like this is just all like like the unity. I mean, was like kind of bonded together by just like having a way to express their feelings instead of committing violent, heinous acts.
Okay,
like the message of the band is to like, because Corey Taylor, the singer, is always seen in like live clips of like saying, "Oh, we're all one big family" and stuff like that. All the maggots, to which they refer to their fans. So yeah, they're definitely a very community oriented band, or they're definitely a cult band in some sense. I likened it to like My Chemical Romance, where like they draw in a lot of outsiders as their fans, and like misunderstood kids, kids that are often bullied. I feel like Slipknot fans are also the same in that sense, that they're bullied and stuff like that and misunderstood. Because that's a lot of what the lyrics are about. I feel like are about being misunderstood. Like their song Surfacing from their first album, there the chorus is like, "Fuck it all, fuck this world, don't give a shit, don't ever judge me," and it's like, or "fuck everything that you stand for, don't belong, don't exist, don't give a shit, don't ever judge me." That's the exact lyric, if I remember that right. And I just remember being in the arena seeing them when I was like 15 with my best friend Tommy and his mom, and just feeling just completely overwhelmed by like just the sheer sound of so many voices screaming in unison, "Fuck this world, fuck everything that you stand for." And it was very powerful in a way.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I don't think their music or their lyrics really has a distinct message of commit violent acts, No,
and I wouldn't. I did not hear enough of the lyrics today, nor have I heard anything else enough to say that I think that that's what it is. I'm just also not hearing necessarily positivity in anything.
No, I feel like the positivity comes later in the sense that they're all kind of being able to express those messages in unison at their concerts and stuff like that.
Gotcha. And then the other thing that I was reading that I thought was interesting, but I cannot decide if it's like, oh, these are real artists, or if I'm just like, bro, this is fucking stupid. But talking about, where is it? Basically, for the performance or the recording of the song Iowa, the lead singer was like vomiting and cutting himself with glass. And
Oh,
I'm like,
jeez.
what?
I don't know about that one.
Okay, here. Let me get the exact quote here. So while recording vocals for the final song Iowa, he was completely naked, vomiting all over himself, and cutting himself with broken glass. Quote, "That's where the best stuff comes from. You've got to break yourself down before you can build something great."
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I feel like I have one foot in he's totally an artist camp, and the other foot in that's completely ridiculous.
Right.
Camp. But like that's not to say like his vocals are bad, because I really love his vocal performances on this throughout the album, especially on I think on Skin Ticket, where he kind of has, like, to borrow a phrase from a different podcast, that referred to Jonathan Davis as creepy crawly. I feel like that had on Skin Ticket. I think there's a song where he definitely sounds very creepy crawly and very he sounds very panicked and very like traumatized and stuff. And,
sure,
yeah.
maybe that's accurate. I don't know. And again, it's not the same song, but like for any of these, do you need to get naked and throw up all over yourself to achieve what you need to vocally? Like,
yeah, I feel like it's there's a lot of comparisons to be made between him and Korn, or like Jonathan Davis rather, with like we talked about the last song on the Korn debut, Daddy, where that whole monologue of him having like a nervous breakdown was all happening in real time. So it's like maybe that was like new metal thing, was just to really capture the essence, for lack of a better word.
But what I would say is, to me, that's slightly
going to extreme lengths, I guess, to capture that.
Yeah, maybe you could say that, but the difference I would think is he has this monologue. This is Jonathan Davis, right? He has this monologue and he's reading it, and it evokes some sort of trauma response or some sort of emotional reaction. But it's like it comes organically because he has this monologue that he's written, that he's reciting or performing.
Yeah.
Whereas with Slipknot, he's like, it's forced, right? I'm going to get naked and cut myself with glass. I'm going to assume he's vomiting all over himself, either from being drunk, because I read that he dealt with a lot of drinking problems during the making of this album, or he's just cutting himself with glass so hard that he's vomiting from pain. So it's like it's forced versus an organic reaction to, reciting this monologue.
I don't know if it was necessarily something he forced himself to do. I think it seems like a very deliberate choice.
Right, forced. Yeah, that's like deliberate, forced. Where Jonathan Davis is like monologue, and he's having this reaction as he's reading it. It comes up organically.
Yeah, but I feel like both are still kind of, I don't know, genuine though. I mean, I did a lot. As far as I know about Corey Taylor, the vocalist of Slipknot, he also had a very traumatic upbringing as a child and stuff too. So I definitely feel like it's coming from a real place, even if it does sound forced or like deliberate. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I like overall, I think he's a really good vocalist, though. I think that he can pull off melodic vocals really well for someone who like spends most of the song screaming. I feel like he balances between those really well. He knows when a song needs to have a chorus and when it shouldn't. So yeah.
But does he? That was the other question I had, because in some of my readings on this, I feel like it was implied he's not the songwriter.
I don't know if I don't know how much. I don't know who writes what in that band, but yeah. What I was saying is, I mean, like he's able to pull off. As extreme as his vocals are, he can do clean vocals and like sing pretty well. So
Right, but you'd say like when he knows when a song needs a chorus and when it doesn't. But I'm
Or
looking at
whoever writes the song knows when the songs need the chorus. I don't know who.
Gotcha.
What? But yeah.
So yeah, it looks like
I'm assuming it's him though.
Yeah, it looks like he writes the lyrics, but he's not credited as having written any of the music.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure he has a say in the structure, at least where his vocals need to be. I don't know. But yeah, are we ready for videos, or do you have other points you need to make? I feel like I've gotten everything.
No, I'm ready for videos.
All right, I got a handful. Did you have any at all?
I've got one.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I have quite a few. So,
do you want to start with yours, or you want to start with mine?
Let's go with yours. I'm interested to see what you got.
Okay. So I had seen this a few years ago, and maybe you know about this, but there was a parody band called Slipknots.
No, this doesn't sound familiar.
Yeah, Slipknots. It was actually an a cappella band, but it was actually just like writers from Late Night with Conan O'Brien. It was like a bit they did on their show. And this actually kind of endears me to Slipknot a little bit because it kind of shows their hand that they're not maybe as serious as one would think. But in 2005, this band actually opened for Slipknot.
Before we go any further, I do have something I want to talk about, and this is pretty important. Recently, ladies and gentlemen, we featured the heavy metal band Slipknot on our program. You familiar with Slipknot? This is pretty, they are hardcore. Slipknot is very hardcore, and they've become extremely popular, very successful heavy metal band. If you've never seen them before, their performance is intense, even frightening. Take a look at them on our show. Yeah, well, unfortunately, the last time Slipknot was here, there was a little screw-up. By sheer coincidence, I booked Slipknot on the same show as a wacky comedy group called the Slipknots. Yeah, take a look at the performance by Slipknots.
We're the Slipknots, slipping on nuts, clowning around and slipping on nuts. We're the Slipknots, slipping on nuts. Look, he fell down. I slipped on some nuts.
And, folks, that is it. The Slipknots act consists entirely of them pouring nuts on the floor, slipping on them, and singing that song about slipping on nuts. Well, afterwards, the Slipknots were really mad. They were really upset that they had to be on the same show with Slipknot. They thought that that hurt them. I felt terrible about the whole situation, so I decided to use my incredible show business powers to make it up to the Slipknots. All I had to do was make one phone call, and I got the Slipknots their own gig at, get this, the Continental Airlines Arena at the Meadowlands in New Jersey. Huge, huge space. A venue that seats over 10,000 people. Sadly, and I swear I had no idea how this happened, I don't know what happened, there was a miscommunication. Slipknot, the band, was also booked to play the Continental Arena on the same night. Unbelievably, the same night. But the Slipknots, when they heard about it, they freaked out at first, but they're professionals, and they were undaunted by the assignment of opening for Slipknot. They went out to New Jersey, they kicked some ass, we sent a camera crew.
So here, I'm just going to fast forward to when I actually perform. Let's see.
We're the Slipknots, slipping on nuts.
Okay, here we go.
It's the Slipknots! We're the Slipknots!
So there you go.
That was ridiculous.
I mean, what would you do if you had gone to the Slipknot show and that's the first act that came out?
I don't know. That'd be something.
That'd be something.
Yeah. Well, when I saw the Beastie Boys at the same arena, I saw Slipknot actually.
Uh-huh.
Their one of their opening acts was a guy with doing tricks with dogs and stuff. I guess he had an old timey TV show where he used to do that. My dad recognized him actually when he took me to that concert. So
that's weird.
I've seen weird opening acts, but nothing like that.
Nice. Okay. All right. So the first thing you've got here is our.
That's a good segue into them performing on Conan in 2001.
Yes, and what song is it?
I want to say Disaster Piece, but it's my favorite song on the album.
Okay,
I could be wrong though.
Three, two, one.
They're just like it's such a spectacle, you know. Like I can't help but love it. It's like 9 fucking people in this band. It doesn't need to be 9 people, but like 9 people in it. Oh no, this is Heretic Anthem. Not Disaster Piece.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Now, maybe you know this, maybe you don't. Their current drummer is actually the son of Conan's drummer, Max Weinberg.
I did know that. I was actually going to bring that up to you to see if you knew that.
And according to this down here, Jay Weinberg was 10 at the time, and this is when he met the band for the first time.
Oh, yeah, I saw that
his
performance. Yeah. There's good memes surrounding that image of him meeting Slipknot.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's one where it's like, because he's wearing like the little mask, right?
Well, I'm confused as to how they have this picture.
Oh, are you looking up the picture?
No, I'm just like, why would they have a picture of him meeting? That's just kind of odd.
Oh, there's I don't know who took it or where it came from, but the picture of him meeting Slipknot with Max Weinberg. There's him. It's a picture of Max Weinberg talking to the late bassist Paul Gray, rest in peace. I think that's who he's talking to. And there's one, and then there's next to Max Weinberg is like Jay Weinberg. He's got like a Corey Taylor mask on with like the shit coming out of the head, you know?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah. And he's like standing next to him looking like little Corey Taylor, and it's pretty awesome. I'll try to find it and post it with this episode.
Okay, so next we've got Slipknot opens with Disaster Piece in Brooklyn, and this was just last month. Actually, this month.
God damn it, I put the wrong end of the date. I gotta be honest, I don't like Corey Taylor's current mask articulation. They still sound really good live.
Yeah, it's quite
this deep into their career.
Yeah, it's quite the stage setup they've got with the percussionist or drummer or whatever way up high on the.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. Yeah, I really want to see them again.
So next we've got Live in Japan in the year 2016.
Yeah, I tried to want to capture like a different era of the band. They're playing it as part of Knotfest, which is their traveling festival.
Okay, and this is People Equals Shit.
Yes, it is.
Get your hands up in the fucking air, Tokyo! Here we go again, motherfucker!
It's funny, when I was watching this earlier, I couldn't tell what he was saying, so I was really high, so I was like, is he actually speaking in Japanese? I can't tell what he's saying. You know what I mean? You have no idea what he's saying.
Sorry, what?
But can't you, like, you hear what I'm saying, though? It's like, you can't tell what he's saying at all.
Yeah.
He might as well be singing in Japanese.
It was good, though.
Yeah, no, they're insanely good live. I can't wait to see them next time they come around. I don't know when that will be, but yeah, People Equal Shit was this other song I was trying to think of earlier as like another example of like how their lyrics are so like just kind of juvenile in a way, of like that overall message of no one gets me, no one likes me and understands me,
Okay, so this is the same song, but it's a cover by someone named Bastion from July of 2020.
Oh yeah, that's the cover. So what that cover proves
fine,
to me,
I don't know.
No, what that cover proves to me is that maybe Slipknot really does need to have 9 members to sound good, because that doesn't sound nearly as good to me.
I thought it sounded fine.
Yeah, I don't know. The first time I saw it, I was like, yeah, that's totally fine. I'll throw it in there. But I don't know. After hearing more of it, I was like, nah, it's not the same without all the extra percussion and stuff. And I don't know. But yeah, that was like literally the only cover I could find of a song from this album. It seemed like everyone else on YouTube wants to cover a song from literally every other album they've ever done.
Nice.
So that was literally the one I could find. So I'm really excited for this last one. I haven't seen the whole thing yet. So.
Okay, so this is Slipknot Howard Stern interview.
This
I'm trying to get a date here.
Yeah,
doesn't
I feel
say.
like this, judging by the masks and the jumpsuits, I want to say this is from the self-titled era. Because they have obviously changed.
Here's another band that wanted to come down and see you. This is called Slipknot. Their new album is Livin' La Vida Loca.
Now,
These are the guys we needed security for, Howard. Oh, these guys.
This is the middle of an interview with
La Vida Loca?
La Vida Loco.
Oh, La Vida Loco.
These guys might be crazy. I don't know.
Oh,
okay.
God.
Now, okay, I've seen these guys.
First of all, thanks for making us wait for fucking ever.
Oh, no, don't say the F word. Don't say the F word.
I'd like
Guys,
to thank Howard Stern to contributing to my age factor. I'm going to have a beard and a cane by the time I walk out of this place. Hey, what's up? You're the king, man. We love you.
Thank you. Now,
First
guys,
of all, we love you, and you're the king, and I brought presents.
Thank you.
And you're
How many guys are in the band?
boy won't let me bring my stuff. What's up?
How many guys are in the band?
There's 9 guys in the band.
All right, so there are 9 guys, and you guys wear clown masks?
No, there's no clown mask. It's one clown mask. One real clown right here, bud.
All right,
Hey,
guys.
If you have eyes, you'll notice that there's one clown mask in the band.
All right, one clown mask in the band. All right, so guys.
You know these guys on TV?
Do you guys know? I'm getting nervous. Do you guys know these guys?
Never heard of them. What's up, guys?
Right. No. So are you mad at Insane?
I got presents, man. You won't let me bring them in. You're the king.
If you don't pay attention, you're probably not going to get your point across.
Right. Why are you guys mad at Insane Clown Posse?
I don't believe any of us have ever met Insane Clown Posse.
Okay.
We have nothing but respect for Insane Clown Posse. We never met those guys, so I believe when I heard on the radio earlier that you said that we were mad at them.
I thought you were. I thought that's why you came down here.
Heard wrong.
I'll tell you one thing, though.
Then why are you here?
I tell you one thing though, this band looks fresh as hell.
Right.
That is
They
without
look
a doubt.
good. They do
Now,
look
that's
good.
what I'm talking about. That's entertainment. You know what I'm saying? That's a fresh look.
Howard.
That's the bottom. Nobody wants to see some guy sit on a stool with a flannel tied around his waist playing an acoustic guitar.
Right.
That's entertainment. That's fresh.
Right there.
Well, this is a regular love fest, isn't it?
Can I bring my presents in?
No.
I don't feel. You are the king. I have nothing but respect for you.
Yeah, I don't need a present. I'll get it later.
I'll keep it.
All right. So
I'm not
keep it.
feeling like myself.
All right, guys. So what is the point of you coming down here today? I want to understand it. Yeah.
Howard, this is a totally different thing that I'm hearing now.
Really?
I heard that they hated them and they wanted to come down and yell at them. They were all upset and everything like that. This is totally new to me.
Really? So, guys, was that just a ruse to get on the
I
air?
don't know who would have started that one. I think it's probably a ploy to get us basically on this show. That's what I think it was.
I see. All right.
You know nothing
We're
else.
on in about 5 hours.
I see. Well, listen, I'm sorry to keep you waiting. Insane Clown Posse was late.
That's all right.
You guys do have a great look.
We got thrown out the Family Values tour, and now it's all-out war.
Wow. Marty,
You're at war with them too.
Marty, you're on with Insane Clown Posse. You only got a couple more minutes.
Yeah, I'm looking it up. It said that was from 1999, which is the same year the self-titled one was released. So, yep, you were correct. Well, there you go.
Yeah, that wasn't actually as ridiculous as I thought it was going to be, but it was still pretty funny. Did you ever watch like Howard Stern when it was on the E channel?
Sometimes, but not usually. Do we know why ICP would have gotten kicked off the Family Values tour?
I don't know. That's something to look into. Yeah, I'll have to investigate that with my abundance of free time. Yeah, well, that was the Slipknot episode. Not as much debate on this one. I feel like we were able to understand each other. That maybe this is how argument season ends. I don't know. Yeah, we had opposing opinions, but I mean, it seemed like you were able to find things you liked about this album.
It was better than I thought. Like I said, I have some respect for what they do and maybe how they accomplish it sometimes. I'm left with a lot of questions. I don't necessarily think it's a positive band. I would push back on that, though I would need to understand more about the community. But all in all, it's better than Seven Dust. I really don't know what else to say, but
I feel bad for Seven Dust. I don't know. I mean, maybe their later material is good.
I may give this another listen one day if I'm really desperate for not silence.
Check out the third one. I think you might like that one more.
It seems very unlikely I'll ever choose to listen to a different one, but I may revisit this album.
I think you'd like that one more. That was a big one for me. That's what got me into him, and I didn't like that was as aggressive as I was getting with my music at that time. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe you'd like that one. But yeah, anyway, thanks for tuning in to another episode of season 4 of the Zeitgeist Lab podcast. I got like 4 or 5 hours of sleep, maybe even less. So I'm gonna go to bed. I'm glad I made it through this one, but like yeah.
For years, the Slipknots have been musical mavericks, influencing a whole generation of artists. And now those artists are paying them back with Tribute on Nuts, a tribute to the Slipknots, featuring Steve Winwood, Patti Smith,
We're slipping on nuts. We are the Slipknots. We're slipping on nuts.
We're the Slipknots slipping on nuts.
Coldplay,
Slipping on nuts. We're the Slipknots slipping on nuts. Look, you fell down, I slipped on some nuts.
a Spanish language version from Los Lobos.
Somos los Slipknots. Somos some Slipknots. Me resbalé en some nuts. We're the Slipknots.
And John Mayer.
We're clowning around and slipping on nuts.
Yeah.
We're the Slipknots. We're slipping on nuts.
Yeah.
Look, you fell down and slipped on some nuts.
Tribute on Nuts. Available now for just 4 easy payments of $63.99. Buy it today.
All proceeds go directly to the Slipknots for food, shelter, and alimony.